Welcome back to another episode of No Gears, No Glory. I'm Jeremy, and today we're going to be talking about my ownership experience and some of the things that I need to look at and work on with my MK7 2015 Golf GTI. I really love this car. I've had only a handful of cars over my life. I've had a Honda Civic, Camaro, G35, and I've had this 2015 GTI. And by far, the GTI has been my favorite car and driving experience. It's a fantastic car, and there's a reason why the GTI is such a sought-after vehicle. Now, my personal experience has been that this has been a reliable car, but there are a few things that we need to work on. A couple of things that have broken, a couple of things that I have ruined myself unintentionally, and a few things that we need to do regular maintenance on. So let's take a look and see what we got going on. Here we go. Now, one of the first things that I've done to damage my ownership experience here is this interior GTI specific trim. Now, this is a really nice aluminum piece that has an LED strip that goes across here, and I wear tactical boots for work. A couple of times when I got in, I dragged my foot across the threshold and it pulled this up and bent it way out of shape. So in order to replace this, you actually have to replace this whole piece right here that goes all the way back to the cup holder. And so we're going to be doing that. And then back here in the trunk, this has a really nice trunk cover so that when it's closed you can't see inside. However, this got caught on something, and when it lifted, there's a little tab right here that should be here, like on this side. Since this got caught, it held it down and just broke that tab right off. So we have to replace this trim piece right here as well. So we're going to be doing that. Now, another issue that we're having here is the bumper, the paint. You may be able to see it here, but it's bubbling the clear coat really badly. I've never used any kind of poor quality soap. I don't use dish soap on my paint or anything like that, but the clear coat is just bubbled up. Now, that might be just because of the Phoenix, Arizona sun. It's just really rough on a car, but it's happening here. It's also starting to happen here on the front bumper of my car as well. Not particularly happy about that. It's really unfortunate. So today on our list of things to do is replace those two trim pieces, the one on the trunk and the one in the door trim. The bumper, we're going to address that on another episode coming up here, where we're going to repaint that and hopefully bring that back to factory fresh new look. That's what we have in store for you today here on No Gears, No Glory. Stay tuned. So the parts that we'll be using today are in this box. We have our first piece right here, which is our trim piece for the trunk. Now, as you can see, I haven't even opened this yet. Let's hope that it's the right color. Oh yeah, there we go. The next piece is the trim piece for the door. Oh yeah, there we go, just like new. Cup holder all the way down to the door strip. Excellent, excellent. Let's open her up and take a look. And I've never taken this piece off, so I'd like to get an idea of what the clips look like. So that'll give us a clue on how and where the attachment points are, and what we got to do to get the original piece off. While I'm not worried about damaging the original piece, I definitely don't want to damage anything that it attaches to. So it looks like most of it will just pull straight up or out and click right back in. We have one electrical connector, which we want to be careful with. This is a very thin LED strip, and once we disconnect that, we should be good to go. So let's start with this one. We'll get the difficult one out of the way first. Let's go. Now, the first thing that we want to do is start working off this panel and figure out how it comes out. Now, it looks as though the clips are just in there and they're countersunk into holes that we just pull hard enough up on, they'll come out. So let's try that. Seems to be true. Now there's a pocket right here where the seatbelt slides through, and the plastic is split, so that you can actually just move the seatbelt in between. Here, there's a lot of shadows, I apologize. So right here the plastic is actually split, so all we have to do is move the seatbelt through that slit and we'll be able to just remove the panel. Now, past this door jamb into the seat area. I think it still just comes up. Yep. I hope we don't have to remove the back seat in order to do this. It's just a small lip. Alright, so I just looked at the new piece and it looks like there's probably a screwed in piece back here underneath the seat. So we will probably have to pull the bottom of the seat off. Alright, that's next. Unfortunately, this is a very simple process. All you have to do is just grab a hold of the seat firmly and gently lift up, and there you have it. And the piece we're trying to get to is right here. It's a button cap piece, and all we have to do is just pry it up with a small flathead screwdriver. That's all we're trying to get out. Just a riveted piece. And here we go. Now before I just start pulling this out, we have to remember we have the LED strip that we have to disconnect. That is actually tucked way up under here, under the lip of the door panel, or side panel. You want to be cautious, there's not a lot of room to work in here. Alright, well I was able to get the strip out, and it's a little bit of a tricky clip. It's kind of different. Basically I just had to take the flathead tip of a screwdriver, and there's a little clip that actually sits right in this that you have to kind of lift up and hold and slide this out very gently. It's kind of an interesting setup, but if you're patient with it, you'll get it. It'll come along. But we've got it out. Let's get the new part in. So here are with our new piece. All we got to do is just start setting it in place. But before we do that, we have a little bit of cleaning up to do. Down here in the track where the old piece sat are some of the old clips that we're just going to have to pry back out. There's one. There's two. There's three. And there's four. It was already out. Alright, so what we're going to start with is putting it just generally in place. We'll get the electrical strip plugged in first, and then we'll get our tab in place underneath the seat, and then we'll slowly start setting it in place and clicking it in. Keep in mind you want to keep your carpet underneath it, so make sure, just take your time, go slow, make sure everything is lined up and the way it needs to be, and do not force it. Also, don't forget your seatbelt needs to go back into place inside the little slot as well. Start with the electrical strip. Seems to be clicked into place. Get our seatbelt slightly in place. So all the clips right here seem to kind of go in and then up. Got our push pin in place. So now that we have the cup holder and the back portion in place, the seatbelt strapped back in, we want to go ahead and start clipping everything into the base of the door trim, or door panel, sorry. Just going to get this in place. We want to start by lifting it into the edge where the weather stripping is, and that will start getting this in place so we can start clipping it in where it belongs. And like that, I think we've got it. Seems to be down, seems to be in place. Weather stripping is in place. And of course, the final piece of resistance. Pull the plastic off. All right, feel pretty good about that. All right, got it in place. Everything's good to go. Let's start working on that back trim. In order to get this trim piece off, what we have to do is actually remove this piece here, and we'll start by peeling that back right here, like that. And then this piece we can start prying away pretty simply. Just like that. Parts pile. Alright, and to put this piece back on, we're just basically gonna kind of slide it into place. And there's a lip on this side you want to watch out for. And there's also sensitive wiring in here that you have to watch out for because the wiring harness runs this way. There's a lip right here that you're going to kind of tuck in. Whoop, uh-oh. Come on you. There we go. Sounded like one of the clips from the other piece are in there still. We'll just leave it for now. And we're nicely in place. And then a trim piece here should slide back into place as well. And that is how it's done. We'll reattach our string. And there we go. Well, that's a couple of projects complete. The door trim on my car has actually been like that for several months. It took me a little while to figure out what part I needed and what I wanted to do to replace it. And I'm super happy with how that turned out. I'm super excited that that piece is replaced. It looks so much better. It'll be great getting in and out of my car without worrying about snagging my foot on that. And then the back trunk piece, that's been like that for several months. And again, it's just minor annoyances that make the car owning experience that much better. The car is complete. Have a few other nagging issues that we're going to work on in the future besides the paint. I have a little electrical glitch in the license plate light that it tells me that I need to look at. So again, something for a future episode, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope that this was informative for you in the rare event that somebody has to replace that like I did. I hope this helps out. And if you enjoyed this content today, hit that like button, you know, show a little love for me if you would. And if you enjoy this channel and the content I bring to you, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I'm looking to grow this channel. I'm looking to grow the content for you guys, and I'm enjoying what I do. Alright, until next time, we'll see you later. This is Jeremy with No Gears, No Glory, signing off, saying goodbye. Bye.